Hey, good morning and welcome to the Board of County Commissioners meeting for October 12th, 2022. If you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our inspirational word for the day comes from Romans. Let's agree to use all of our energy in getting along with each other. Help others with encouraging words. Don't drag them down by finding fault. Madam Clerk, if you please call the roll.
Commissioner Lundy,
Here.
Commissioner Hung, here. Commissioner Moore.
Here.
Okay, we first have a presentation this morning, right?
We do. Regards to the Crusher Stadium, Avon, Tom Kramig and Avon Mary Johnson.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I'm going to add one person to, just
Sure.
for a minute, if that's okay. First, I just want to thank you for allowing us to present and come before you. I know a few weeks back, or even a month or so back, we had approached each one of you and kind of talked to you about a project we had in mind. And so I was going to bring up Tom Kramig and Eric from the YMCA. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name because I know it's on the record and could make me look really bad. So I'm just going to have them each take a moment just to kind of introduce themselves, who they are, what they do, and then I'll finish the presentation.
Morning, everyone. Again, thank you. As the mayor said, my name is Tom Kramig. I am the co-owner of the Lake Erie Crushers. Since this is being streamed live on YouTube, I want to make sure I emphasize the co-owner because the other owner is my wife. All right.
The boss of the operation, right?
The brains, as Mr. Lundy knows, the brains of the operation. The Lake Erie Crushers, as you know, have been around since 2009, providing affordable family entertainment for Lorain County and the entire region. We arrived here in 2016 and purchased the team, and things were going very well until 2020 rolled along, and then the whole world stopped. We lost an entire season in 20, and were dramatically impacted in 21 as the world was sort of crawling back out of quarantine in their homes. So we're very excited about what the city is presenting today and the proposed improvements to the stadium. We think it will dramatically improve the product that we can offer to the fans, and I think it'll also open up a lot of other events that we can use the facility for, things like movie nights and watch parties and those types of events. So we're very encouraged and we're very excited about the potential that a new scoreboard would bring to the stadium, and we also think it will attract a lot of people from outside Lorain County to come to Lorain County and spend their dollars there. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, and again, we appreciate the opportunity.
I would just ask, I know being at the ballpark, see a lot of people from outside of Lorain County, which is an important part of, you know, the lens we're looking through, attracting people to Lorain County so they come in and visit, spend the dollars locally. But maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the folks that you attract, where you know they're coming from and things of that nature.
We do surveys on the concourse, as you know, during the games every year, and our research has shown that our audience is about 50% Lorain County and 50% outside of Lorain County. Western Cuyahoga County is obviously a big factor. We draw a lot of people from those western suburbs like Bay and Westlake, Strongsville, Lakewood, Rocky River, North Olmsted, those regions. We do draw some going west as you move out towards Sandusky. I think that's Erie County is the next one over. But our sweet spot is really Lorain County and the western suburbs of Cuyahoga County. You do get the stray person from the east side that's coming over because they know somebody or have an event over on this side of town, but we promote ourselves as we're the west side of Cleveland, western Cuyahoga County and Lorain County.
But you also draw people in, you're the home site, I believe, for one of the college baseball teams. On
Notre
the
Dame
east side.
College plays a lot of games there. Now, I was referring to the Crushers. We draw a lot of people from outside the region. We host a lot of travel baseball, a lot of events that will draw people in from literally all over the state, Michigan, the region. When the Crushers go on the road, we like to keep that stadium going. So we'll do travel baseball tournaments all summer long. Every weekend even weekdays when the Crushers are out of town. There's something going on at that ballpark. We try to maximize the use. Again, this is Northern Ohio. We're not using it in December and January and February. So from the 1st of May till mid-October, we're trying to run as many people through there as we can. And travel baseball, I'm not sure if you're aware, is a huge business. And people will come for miles and miles around to play at a facility like Mercy Health Stadium.
You've also hosted, I know in years past, the MAC tournament, bringing
Yes,
in
we have.
the universities, Akron, Kent, all those schools.
And we're in communication with the MAC, and we're hopeful they'll be back potentially in '24. Obviously, they shut down their entire postseason tournament for a couple of years when COVID hit. They did bring it back in '22, but they did it on the campuses. But I know the people in the MAC office in downtown Cleveland would love to come back to Mercy Health Stadium when the time is right, and they've talked to us about that.
Okay.
And again, that's drawing from a pretty wide range.
Sure. Question?
Any other questions?
Yeah, you guys, so with travel ball, because I was softball, girls softball coach,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to find nice stadiums, you know? So is there like a rental fee for these travel teams?
Oh, absolutely, yes. There is a rental fee for that. And as you see in the proposal, and if you drive by the ballpark these days, the turf is being replaced right now. So it's a very attractive facility. We also do a lot of high school baseball in the spring. Avon High School plays there, but we just booked Oak Harbor High School. I'm not even sure where that is. Yeah, it's west of here, right? Notre Dame College, St. Ed's plays there. We get a lot of calls in the spring because this being Northern Ohio, it rains. And the fact that our field is turf and it drains very quickly, it can rain all day and we can play a game literally at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which makes it very attractive. And obviously when those families are coming to watch their kids play ball, they're going to eat at local restaurants, they're buying gas in Lorain County, they're spending their dollars in Lorain County.
Okay,
Any other questions?
very good. Oh,
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Eric Steinhelfer. Appreciate the opportunity to speak.
We might just have you pull that mic up a little bit. I know you're the tall one here, so.
A little difference.
Yeah, exactly.
My name is Eric Steinhelfer. I'm with the French Creek Family YMCA, a branch of the YMCA Greater Cleveland. So our vision is to expand our youth programming. Since COVID, post-COVID, our membership has not rebounded as we thought it would. So our concentration has been programming. Our summer camps were at capacity this past summer, and we're hoping to continue that with our youth programming. The French Creek Family YMCA reaches all parts of Lorain County. We have off-sites down LaGrange, Wellington areas, in Amherst. We also have a branch in Vermilion. Part of that is Erie County, but we do pull from that area as well. Our part with this is partnering with the city to increase our youth sports by adding NFL flag football. So we're looking for green space, turfed space, to be able to use that year-round and continue to increase and pull from Lorain County youth. And I'd be happy to take questions.
Okay. Questions? Are you seeing more youth getting involved in this kind of programming? And then how do you do outreach into the community to bring kids in from all around the county?
Yeah, so all of our YMCA programming, we have financial assistance. So we don't turn anyone away. And we do, this will be an initiative for all 11 branches within the YMCA of Greater Cleveland. So every branch will offer NFL flag. We're hoping that this location, the French Creek location, would be able to host championships and be able to have competition between our branches. So our marketing and outreach will continue to push in Lorain County.
Yeah, I saw in here, I guess, is there funding that comes in from the NFL Foundation Grassroots program?
Yes, so we'll apply in the spring in 2023 for funding from that, matching dollars, hopefully from this opportunity, and the city is willing to match as well.
Good. Very good.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. Okay, Mayor?
So, again, at any point after we're through with this, I'm going to leave the mic up because I think I'm still tall enough to leave the mic. So, but anytime after this, if you have any questions for any of the other, we can bring them back up. But just wanted to thank you again for the opportunity. And I know when I've talked to all of you individually, a lot of the big question is what does the city of Avon have involved in this? We own the Y, we own that building, we also own the stadium, but also we think it's important for what COVID had taught us is we need to get families back together. We need to have opportunities for our children to do things together. And I think the one thing that this opportunity allows us to leverage funding that the city would go ahead and match, put into it. Then also if we could get ARPA money from the county, of course, that would help us. Things that we could do more than we could have before. And again, I'm not asking in this part for maintenance to help us repair anything at any of the stadiums or at the YMCA to help with any of the day-to-day operational things. It's the things that we can do that are extra. And if you guys want to go, and I don't know if you're anything like I am, but go to the kind of the back page where the money's at. Mm-hmm. So I think all the other stuff that we wrote in there is really important to kind of read over to understand exactly what we do. But the biggest portion is, again, how can we work together in our terms of our partnership to make the community, but also the area a better place. And if you look at I think it's page 8 that it shows that it's like the synthetic turf is about $650,000. We look at video scoreboards, another $500,000. You look at marquee signs, and those would be informational signs, what that would do. And then also you look at we talked about the synthetic turf for the flag football, and even football or other uses for that. That's $750,000. And then we look at if we have any money left over, if there would be extra money we would put toward changing out some of the lighting. I think the one thing that you'll notice, what I did on the bottom part of it is for the county, our ask would not to exceed. That means if we spend more money or opportunity like with the NFL comes forward, we're hoping what the NFL will look at is they'll look at $250,000 from them, $250,000 from the city, and then we would earmark $250,000 from the county commissioners that would go toward that. So in essence, for $250,000, all of us get a $750,000 field. And when you look at this as a whole for basically $1 million, the commissioners we'd be looking at a return just in terms of help there is about $1.25 million, because we would continue to leave the NFL portion in there, and that wouldn't change that. But I think the one thing too, as we looked at it when we come before you, is just like, what does the commissioners get back or what does the county get back? And I think the one thing, the city won't generate any kind of real revenue except for labor, of course, from the income tax, but the county would get all the sales tax that all this would generate. But I think more so what you get is you get an opportunity to try to help our youth. And with the YMCA, it's so important that we feel that it brings youth from all over. So there's no one that's left out. Even with Crusher Stadium, it's in terms of if we can work things out. At the end of each year, the Crushers put their events in there. The city can also come in there and grab a few dates that are available still that because of the way the lease is set up, that we could pull days to say, okay, we'll have movie nights. Typically, again, we don't want to run the stadium, so we'll work with Tom in terms of set those things up, but again, to try to make those affordable. But in this process too, as the commissioners, you can ask for anything in terms of it's a partnership, so it's something that works. I know I've talked to all three of you about opportunities to put messages on the message boards that and I think most of you guys have shied away from saying, hey, we want to ask anything. But the idea for me is again, it's not to ask in terms to get revenue from it, but in terms of to promote things. I know the commissioners are always promoting things, and I know that the fair is asking for some funding also. But, even when the fair time comes around, if there's opportunities that the commissioners want to advertise for the fair, what's going on within the community in emergencies, those are also available. The other thing I want you to be aware of when you see the map on the very back, most of you that have been down there will notice that T3 is on the one side. T3 is also partnered with the city in a lot of ways. When COVID was out and the vaccine clinic was there, they opened up their facility to allow for emergency vaccines, and also they're available for the county in case of emergency happens. We're not asking for anything for them. They got the property over there for $1. They've added a lot of money to that. They've added a lot of value over there, but we're not asking in terms of to improve something for them, but the surrounding area we're asking for. And I think that there's a lot of positives in there, and I think if you get an opportunity to read through the booklet there, you'll see all the different things we've put together. I also have Ms. Fector here, that she's with our economic development group, that helped me put this together along with Nicole. And like I said, I'm proud of what we put together. I think it adds value. I think that I've kind of, from talking to you all, have put together what you've asked me to do in terms of saying, hey, what is the city willing to put up? And I think this is a positive all the way around, and I can't stress enough that ours is a family-oriented for what we're trying to do. I know that Rockin' on the River has done a lot of great things, and I know if you ask Ms. Fector, she can tell you she's been there many times. But that's more of an adult-oriented type thing that goes on there, and I think it's a positive for the surrounding areas. But I also think this is a positive for our communities and for our children and families. So I'll entertain any questions, or if you have more questions for Mr. Kramig or for Eric from the Y. But we'd be more than happy to answer those. But
Who'd be receiving the revenue off the sign rentals?
that would go
The
to
city or
that would go to
the owner of the stadium?
the owner of the stadium.
Okay, that's it. Thanks.
Yeah, I think when you talk about messaging, I think probably if there's an opportunity to do so, visit Lorain County, I think would be the primary thing, because when folks come into the stadium, as Tom pointed out, as the owner, that, they're coming in from out of town, so we want them to know about other upcoming events in the county, or at least going to our website so they can learn about events in Lorain County. So that would be something I think of interest. I guess when I look at this whole thing, I just believe that probably the three biggest tourism attractions in Lorain County are the county fair, Rockin' on the River, and then the stadium. I think those are the three places that really bring in the most individuals from the outside to visit our county. Of course, unless somebody's visiting a restaurant or something of that nature. So that's why I think it's important for the public to know, under the Rescue Act plan, the federal government made it possible to try to jumpstart, if you will, or rejuvenate tourism, which took a big hit. And as Tom pointed out, even losing a whole baseball season, how you get through that is just beyond me. But a lot of folks are, still crawling before they walk, and, walking before they run. So there's a transition period in there. But right now, I think as we're making these investments, as we've made in the county fair for the new expo center, and we're still making a determination on the new stage for Rockin' on the River, and then your request today, that they all fit into tourism and making sure that we can attract people to our county. We know how great everything is here, good quality of life, lots of good things to enjoy. But what I like in particular is the focus on family. I think the focus on family is really, really critical to be able to have, maybe a countywide movie nights. I was just even thinking, they always have the watch parties in downtown Cleveland, right? So I don't have to hop in the car and go to downtown Cleveland. Maybe come over to the stadium, watch hopefully the Cavs in the playoffs, or the Guardians eventually beat the Yankees, whatever the case may be, for a watch party. So I think, this type of project works out really well. I know my colleague, Commissioner Moore, has stated, a strong emphasis on the matching dollars. I know Commissioner Hung feels strongly about these matching dollar type projects as well too, and I definitely think it's always a good thing when local governments can come together, partner on projects. This is a great partnership type project. one where you've got some skin in the game, we've got some skin in the game, but at the end of the day, the community wins and the families win. So I just want to thank you.
Could I just address Mr.
Sure.
Moore's question with the revenue? And it's like, and that's a big portion, don't get me wrong, because that's always plays a role, but we probably wouldn't be before you today even asking for you to partner if it was just, for the revenue part of it. It's the idea of simulcasting different things or even having movie nights, because again, for advertising, to have that logo up there is like certainly generates revenue, but if it wasn't for the digital sign part of it in terms of what we could use it for other things, probably wouldn't have to even make that adjustment. So again, I certainly understand what you're saying, because everybody, that's what they look at is, again, what goes back to the ownership in terms of where they benefit, but the city wouldn't be coming forward unless we thought there was a benefit outside of those advertisers, so.
Just to kind of reiterate what Commissioner Lundy was saying, in your proposal here, you have the memberships for the Y, and I see out-of-county cities here, so people need to understand the whole travel and tourism aspect of this. And when you're bringing in the travel teams, they're visiting our restaurants, they're visiting our storefronts, they're bringing their dollars into our local economy here in Lorain County. So that's where it ticks off the boxes for the ARPA dollars. Just wanted to thank you for your presentation. It's very thorough. Appreciate it.
No, so maybe we get superheroes over to the stadium this next year too, so.
You guys do have a follow-up meeting tonight, do you know that?
Yeah, I do know
Okay.
that, so
Yeah.
we,
No, my wife gets to eat, I don't, so there you go.
we know the most important person in your family also, so.
Yeah, it's the
we
same
just,
business partner that
yeah,
Tom
so-
has.
so, thank you again for your time and
Thank you.
consideration.
Thanks, Mayor.
I wondered how you're gonna get that in today.
If you wouldn't have left me the opportunity.
I also know you folks are busy, so certainly feel free if you need to get back to the office or your duties or whatever it may be. But thank you so much for your presentation. We'll certainly be reviewing this and hopefully making a decision here over the next couple weeks.
Any idea when they review both?
No.
Probably in the next, yeah.
No, the answer's no.
Don't know if you don't ask, right? So, but,
No, the vote might be present, occasionally that's what it is.
oh, jeez, okay. Okay, yeah, certainly over the next couple of weeks, but thanks for the presentation.
Just trying to save you guys the pain and suffering of watching the rest of the meeting here. No,
You're
yeah,
watching on.
yeah, you and the other 150, okay.
I think we'll move to resolutions.
Number one, investments,
So move.
Second,
discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Two, appropriations,
So move.
Second,
discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Number three, transfers,
So move.
Second,
discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Number four, advances, repayments, there were none. Number five, requisitions,
So move.
Second,
discussion.
yes. I'll be abstaining from 1749.
1749.
Yes, 1749. Sorry.
Any further discussion? Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes, with the
Your
abstention
exception.
noted.
Yep, and Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Number six, travel,
So move.
Second,
discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Number seven, bills,
So move.
Second,
discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Number eight, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorain County Commissioners. At the conclusion of today's board meeting, the Commissioners may recess in an executive session to discuss personnel, new hires, and board appointments. Nine, accept the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorize necessary tax levies and certify to the auditor for 2023.
So move.
Second,
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Job and Family, 10, award contract to Precision Engineering and Contracting, Inc., Solon, in the amount of $894,579 for parking lot and drainage improvement project. Two bids received, this being the most responsive complying with specifications. Issue notice to proceed effective on or before November 7th and complete on or before June 30th of 2023. Authorize administrator to notify auditor to release retainage at completion of project and will be paid from the capital improvements account.
So move.
Second,
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
I don't know if Karen want to explain this, because this is kind of a big project, kind of a big deal.
Kind of big.
Good
Thanks.
morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
So this project is a long time coming. I mean, it's been in the planning stages for a good 6 years. So I know the Facilities Department wants to thank you for supporting this project, because the biggest part has to do with our water problem. So you may or may not know that when we have a lot of rain over there at the Jobs and Family Services building, the amount of water we get on the south side of the building causes flooding inside the building. So, and this has been going on for several years. We've been trying to get it resolved. And this project actually increases the amount of drainage, the size of the pipe, drainage pipe, and then it gives us a direct storm sewer line from our building to Elyria Avenue. In addition to the drainage, we'll also have a detention pond placed on our property. And then in addition to that, we're going to add additional employee parking on the Elyria Avenue side of the building. So if anybody that goes over there knows, I mean, it's pretty tight parking, so this will relieve some of that. And then, again, for facilities, we don't have to mow that grass anymore, so it'll be asphalt. So it's all good.
Okay.
Any questions?
Nope, I know it's a big deal for you guys.
It is a
and,
big deal for us. I mean, it's a long time coming,
Long
so-
time coming.
Yeah.
And the retention pod should help out the area too, I would think. right?
Absolutely,
The
yeah.
surrounding
So there's
businesses.
a business to the south of us, it's a storage facility. And they have a lot of water when it rains, and there's no place for that water to go. They have limited catch basins there. So a lot of times the water actually comes up and over onto our property. So we'll be able to handle that additional water, and with the detention basin, it'll collect it, and we'll do all the right things according to Don Romanchuk.
If Don says it's so, it's so.
That's right.
Okay. That was all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything further? Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Transit to execute the membership agreement and bylaws for Lorain County Transit to become a member of Neo-Ride and Ohio Council of Governments effective October through December 22 in the amount not to exceed $300, will be paid from the account dues account. Transit Chief Financial Officer is appointed as primary voting director, and County Administrator is appointed as alternate voting director to represent Lorain County Transit on the Neo-Ride Council of Government Board.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
Did you want to add anything?
I'm just here if you have any questions.
Okay. Any questions? No, we're good.
Okay. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Engineer, 12. Accept the request of Brian S. and Barbara R. Carlton to withdraw the request to vacate existing right-of-ways of Park Place Drive and Boardwalk Avenue located in original Lot 57 within Garden of Eden Allotment Number 1, Eden Township.
Move to approve.
Second.
Sorry that y'all had to walk again yesterday.
That's our third time. Fourth is gonna be a charm.
We didn't really walk, we stood there.
Well, you know. Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Under the recorder, authorize auditor to continue special fund per Ohio Revised Code Section 317.09 and 317.321 for fees by Lorain County Recorder for the purpose of supplementing equipment needs of the county recorder on an annual basis effective January 1st, 23, expiring December 31st, 23. The $17 requested by the county recorder, $6 will be placed in the 2540 Recorder's Equipment Fund, and adult $11 will be retained in the general fund.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
Well, the recorder is here today. Do you want to make any comments on this, Recorder Duran?
You should come on up
Okay.
to the microphone if you do.
He's like, I did before the meeting started, so.
Now you're gonna make me walk all the way back.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I was giving him head bobs to get up here, you know, so.
Yeah, a bit of a coughing fit. I saw that was why you went to
Yeah,
the
maybe that's why, yeah.
Yeah, I had a cough for a little while, and I went to the doctor, and he was like, "You have acid reflux." I was like, "What is that even?" Something with the.
Is that a HIPAA violation to disclose that?
Yeah,
I think it's okay if I say it. It's not okay if they say
It's called
it.
a diet.
But nonetheless, I'm not having any of those fancy things. Yeah, we're just trying to improve the technology and everything down at the recorder's office. The amount of recordings has actually gone down, which is affected the amount that we have. It hasn't gone down drastically, but it's gone down due to the mortgage rates going up. We don't have as many refinances in there, so the mortgages are down. House buying is still relatively where it was.
Yeah, I'll help
Did you guys
you
have
out.
any questions? Anything
Yeah, I'll help
specific?
you out here.
Yeah.
So basically, what we're doing is we're reducing the, because that's what we're talking before the meeting, all three of us with you. You're basically taking the general fund out of that fee and reducing it from $13 to $11, and you're
Right.
taking that extra $2 and putting it into your equipment account from $4 to $6.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what I was.
Looks like it's for 1 year.
Yeah. So, and that would generate how much money a year? What, an extra 200? I think you said.
It's closer to 150.
150. Yeah, recordings are down. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know when I was in Columbus, it was always difficult for the for the recorders to get support on an equipment fund and just fighting like heck to get it done. So I was glad to see something was finally done. I think you're allowed to cap going up to as much as $8, but you're going up to $6 for now.
Yeah, so some of the other counties are at 7 and 8.
Right.
We just went to 6 to see where that should be fine for what we need to do. One of the things, actually, in your little thing was the, you can see microfilm is one of the important things down in our office. It doesn't seem like it's hot new technology, but it is important.
So it's not an increase to the residents. It actually is deducted from our side of the ledger of the general fund.
Yeah, so
Right.
I can't change the amount of fees as to what it costs
Right.
at the thing. That's all done by the state legislature. They control those fees.
Sure.
So it's the internal accounting allocation. And how they
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
an internal
So just so the
allocation.
public
Right.
knows This is not an increase to them.
Right.
I had a quick, are you done?
Oh, yes,
I had
sure.
a question about, now, because we talk about ARPA dollars a lot in here.
Yeah.
And your office was awarded the ARPA dollars, was it for the book scanning project, about 400,000?
Yeah, that was the book scanning project to go ahead and get those books from 1898 to 1976 actually scanned back in to the system and accessible.
So how is that going? Just give us a little update.
We are on the list to have them send people down and do the scanning. We have them do all the scanning in-house because we don't want our books to go somewhere and
Right.
possibly not come back. So we have as much of it done in-house as is possible.
And then once that's done, they'll be online and people can access them and.
Yeah, so they'll be online and they'll be accessible similar to how the 1824 to 1901 documents are right now. And then we'll have an in-house project to get them indexed similar to how any documents that you have today are done, rather than searching through the older books. It's a little bit harder, a little bit more, it takes a little more knowledge to search the older ones. You have to know how to do it, but we are going to also create some instructions as instructional deals, and I've been going out talking to people to let them know how to search that older section of the site. And then we're actually going to do an in-house project to index them to how the new ones are indexed as well.
Yeah, we don't have to go too far back, just the 1890s, right? So, okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
stopping by.
Anything further? Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Under the prosecutor, authorize acceptance of VOCA and SVAA grant in the amount of $108,253.18 for the Victim Witness Program administered by the County Prosecutor's Office. Grant from the AG requires 20% match of $27,063.29 effective October 1st, 22 through September 30th, 23. This will pay partial salaries of 6 full-time victim advocates and will be paid from the Commissioner's General Fund allocation account.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, does the assistant prosecutor wish to discuss anything on this?
I think that the victims advocates do a great job in the community. There are people who are unfortunately caught up in the criminal justice system, obviously as victims or families of victims. And the advocates in my office really do their best to help them navigate what is often a very Byzantine and very complicated legal process. It's not pleasant, and they work very hard, and I think are very successful in helping families survive it. And I think it's a good program. We appreciate you continuing to fund it.
It's always good when we can receive grants, and especially the 80-20s or the 9-10s, 90-10s.
Like 95-5.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
take 80-20.
I'd like to do that all day long, you know. But we do have a fund established so that we can actually do matches on grants. So,
Yeah, and it's well spent dollars.
Sure.
You see a lot of kids in my office. You see a lot of young families that are caught up in some of these horrible situations, and it's getting them the assistance they can that the legal system just is not. The court doesn't provide that, right? It's not what we're operating for, so it's nice to be able to provide that.
Anything further? Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Under the Sheriff 15 grant sole ownership of K9 Kayla to Deputy Kiefer Miller, who has been serving with Lorain County Sheriff's Office and retired effective October 6, 2022, and he will pay $1.
Move to approve.
second.
Discussion.
To congratulate Kayla on her retirement and wish her many years of relaxation with Deputy Miller and treats and runs around the yards and fun.
Anything further? Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Okay. I see we don't have anyone signed up for public comment today. The county administrator is not here. Does the deputy administrator have any additional updates? No report today. So we will move on to Mr. Petticourt, Assistant County Prosecutor.
I have to talk twice today. That's horrible.
Yeah, wow, jeez.
I don't have a report. Again, I think I know JD feels strongly about the victims advocates, and we thank the commissioners for supporting that project. If the board decides to go on executive session, there are two pieces of current litigation we can discuss. There's some discussion we should have on the potential purchase or sale of public property. I would suggest that's the biggest reason I need to go into. I would like to go to executive session, and additionally, the personnel concerns raised by the clerk or the personnel issues raised by the clerk earlier on.
Okay, great. I see the health department's in the room. Did you have any
Jasmine.
updates this morning,
Jasmine
Jasmine?
shook her head
Any
no.
updates from the health department? Hearing we're going to have, if you want to come up to the point,
You know,
here we're going to have a pretty strong flu season. I guess they're really trying to encourage people to get their flu shots. And I think a certain board of commissioners provided free flu shots in the county. Can't remember who those guys are, but.
I was just looking for my notes. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Morning.
Put you on the spot, Jasmine.
We are preparing for flu season. We do have some dates coming up where we'll be in the community providing those shots for people, as well as the county health department. I can't, for whatever reason, get logged into the Wi-Fi or the internet, so I can't pull up my notes. But I can definitely reach out to Mark and get those dates to you all and to the community. There should be flyers and things on social media already out to let the community know that we're preparing for a pretty hefty, I would say, flu season, get us all safe and prepared. And one other thing to mention is about 2 weeks ago, we did release the CHA at the event at the college. We're still hoping that the community in large looks at what's in the CHA. It's a great, I guess, forward into what the health department is doing for the next year, how we plan to keep our communities healthy and safe. So I will hope that everyone goes and visits our website and just really dive into it. We try to make it readable versus someone like me who's from public health who understands those charts and numbers and all those things. So I hope we did a really good job at that to where anyone can just go on the website and look at what's there. But we really hope that the community really sees that and gets involved and asks us questions and gives us feedback on what they really want to see us do within the next 3 years that we prepare for the next CHA. So I have
For
some.
the person watching, what is the website? Just
LorainCountyHealth.com is our website, and it's right on our front page where you can see all the information.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
very
I'm sorry
much.
about that. I can't get onto
Yeah.
my notes. So
No, it's bad here for him.
Yeah.
Well, next time I know to print things out.
There you
So
go. There you go.
I will be better prepared next
Don't
week.
worry, we won't ask you the next time.
Thank you.
We just wait till you're unprepared, then we get you up here.
Oh, man, I gotta be on point all the time.
You did a great job. We knew you would. So we've moved on to commissioners' reports. Commissioner Moore. No report. Commissioner Hung.
We have no report, Mr. President.
Okay. I'll just try to be brief here. Had the opportunity to speak with UAW retirees recently at Local 2000. Obviously they're really excited about the expansion over there at the Ohio Assembly Plant, and just had a lot of good conversations with them. Also had the opportunity to speak with the Lake Erie Landlord Association, updated them on our emergency rental assistance program. I can't thank the whole team over at Jobs and Family Services enough. Talk about a heavy lift, talk about a lot of work, talk about it, getting a lot of supporting documentation. They've done amazing work over there. I know many of the landlords in the room, when I asked how many have been impacted, they raised their hands, and so they were certainly glad to see that. It's good to be able to keep a roof over people's heads, make sure the utilities are paid. It's a win-win situation for local governments, too, that had a lot of unpaid utility bills. So the local government gets those payments. Folks get their water and everything turned back on. So it really was a win-win situation for many families in the county. Attended the Lorain County Office on Aging dinner on Friday night. Talk about a plate full of food. Wow. I think there was everything under the sun that you could eat that night. A packed house over at the Eagles in Amherst, and just a great evening. Can't say enough about the seniors in our community, the great contributions they've made to our community, and why we're a better community today because of all their efforts. And finally, attended the Art After Dark for the Sheffield Lake, or I should say probably Brookside band, and that was a good event. Always a good event each and every year. And thanks to everyone who supports them, the businesses, and those who came out to support the evening. That completes my report. Next, no clerk's report.
I do not.
Okay. Board correspondence, right? Okay. Get a motion to, I'll make the motion to waive the reading. We'll give you a break today.
Second.
There's a second.
Any further discussion? Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Okay. At this time, I would move that we go into executive session for the reasons stated by the Assistant County Prosecutor.
Second?
Discussion? Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
And we have returned from executive session. I'll make the motion to approve the personnel summary sheet.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
No.
Any business to come before the board, additional business, new business, old business, really old business? Nope.